Hey friends, today we are going to see the different options available for identity management for SharePoint Online. Okay, so there are basically three options available. Okay, for SharePoint Online for identity. They are called Cloud Identity, Directory Synchronization, and Federation Identity. Let's see in detail what these three uh, options of identity provides. Okay, first is the cloud identity. When you create a SharePoint online tenant and add the user to the tenant, those users are cloud identities. So if you create a user in SharePoint online, then those are called cloud identities. Those identities are stored in Windows Azure Active Directory. So they are not stored in your in-house Active Directory, but in Windows Azure Active Directory, which is in the cloud. There is no relationship between those users and on-premise users. Okay, so the users have two set of credentials to manage: a username and password for SharePoint Online and another username password for SharePoint on-premises. So there is no integration between the cloud and the on-premise SharePoint. So this is called cloud identity. So users have to have two usernames and two passwords. So, so the next identity is the directory synchronization identity. Okay, so this is the most recommended for the hybrid scenarios where you already have a SharePoint 2013 in your office environment. Then this is the recommended and simple approach, we would say. This approach, okay, takes advantage of directory sync. It's a component, it's a tool, okay, which allows to have a single set of entities. So you have to install this directory sync on your SharePoint on-premise, and this will synchronize the accounts from on-premise with SharePoint Online, Azure Active Directory. So once you install the directory sync on your on-premise SharePoint 2013 server, okay, it will synchronize the on-premise identity with the Windows Azure Active Directory identity. So this includes the username and password synchronization. Okay, so users are still prompted for credentials when trying to access the data in the cloud. Okay, but it's the same username and the password. If you give the same username and password that you use in your system, in-house system, it will work because the directory is synchronized. Okay, this is the most and this is the widely used integration that I have seen to install directory sync on the SharePoint server, and it synchronizes the username and password with the Azure ID. The third option, okay, is the federated identity SSO. So here the user are logged into a domain join machine. Okay, you can use the identity provider such as ADFS to authenticate users. So there's a ADFS, okay, which is actually integrates the on-premise Active Directory with Windows Azure Active Directory. Okay, and there is also a directory sync which only synchronizes the username. It won't send the password. So password will be stored in the on-premises Active Directory. So this is the most secure setup for identity integration, but it's bit complex because you have to use a Active Directory federation to integrate the Windows Azure Active Directory with the on-premise Active Directory. The advantage is that the password are stored in on-premises. It's not stored in the Windows Azure Active Directory. Only the usernames are stored there. Okay. So when you try to log in, a single sign-on will using federation will authenticate you and automatically log in and allow you to access the resource. So these are the three types: cloud identity, no integration, two usernames, two passwords; directory synchronization, same username and password, but both username and password are stored in Windows Azure Active Directory as well as on-premise identity. Okay. Federated identity, only username is stored in Azure Active Directory, passwords are stored in on-premise. But it's a bit complex and federation has to be used. I hope this has been useful for you, and thank you for watching.